we talked about minutes, right? We talked about Diawara getting more minutes now because OG Anunoby's out. Well, there's another player that's on the bench that's been here for a while that also wants more minutes. That's Josh Hart. And I can understand why Josh Hart in OG Anunoby's absence would want more minutes. And I think Mike Brown has definitely given him more minutes over the course of these last few games without Anunoby. Shout out to NBA Insider with Newsday, Steve Popper, for giving us this following update about Josh Hart. According to him, Josh Hart is doing the work on the court. When he was asked if he's ready for more minutes with OG Anunoby sidelined, he responded, "I hope. I think before that I was playing, before OG went down, I think I was playing the least minutes of my career." Popper asked the following question: "You keep track of those things?" And Josh Hart responded, "When I'm mad, yeah," he said with a smile, "but I'm ready to always do what needs to be done to help the team get wins." Hart continues by stating, "I think it just shows the respect level that they have of myself and the input that I'm able to have. Every coach that I've played with, except for Stan Van Gundy, had an open line of communication. He lets me kind of go out there and play and read the game and call different plays if I see something, stuff like that. He being Mike Brown, gives Josh Hart a lot of leeway and grace with it. And obviously, it's appreciated. That's kind of like my role on the team, to make sure to be that guy." Mike Brown states the following about Josh Hart: "You definitely want guys to feel good about how they're being used. In the same breath, Josh has been fantastic. I think there were 2 games, maybe 3 early on, that I kick myself for not throwing him back in the game late. They're not the same player, but man, he's just such a glue piece like Andre Iguodala was in Golden State. He just ties everything and everybody together. He does so many things out there that are just really simple that makes the game easier for everybody. He's a two-way guy. His personality, his presence is of a leadership quality. Those descriptions, that's what reminds me of Andre. He can definitely do that for us and probably will play more minutes." So Josh Hart, he wants to play more minutes in OG Anunoby's absence. And Mike Brown, it looks like he's going to give him that grace and allow him to play more minutes. And over the last few games, we have seen that. So this is all the praise that Mike Brown is giving Josh Hart right now. And it seems like the reason he's getting this praise, not only because, he's a monster when he's playing right now off the bench. He had a triple-double a couple nights ago. So the impact is there, Doug. Do you believe that he should play more minutes, maybe even more minutes over some of these young players like we were talking about, like a Pacome, like a Mohamed Diawara? Or do you like the way the minutes have been spread out to start the season thus far?
I think Mike Brown's been really conscientious about when he puts Josh Hart out there and who he puts Josh Hart out there with, because when Josh Hart is not shooting with confidence, it has a really detrimental effect to the Knicks half-court offense. But when he is shooting with confidence and he is knocking down threes, like he frankly, he's been shooting the three extremely well this season. All of a sudden, the offense feels super potent, and then the fast break is always there with Josh Hart. The rebounding is always there with Josh Hart. The aggression, the pace, the intensity, it's all the stuff that we really love about him. So employing that in the right combination, it's sort of hard to put him out there with Mitch on the floor because of the spacing issues that become created with 2 guys who aren't known as perimeter threats. But if he makes you pay, then you give him more minutes. If he makes a defense pay by knocking down an open shot, you got to give him more minutes. I think also something I'd like to see improved from him is he kind of has been ball watching a lot, and more than I've seen him do before. Maybe it's some kind of adjustment to a new defensive scheme, but if he could tighten that up a little bit, I would be fully on board with more Josh Hart minutes. Also, another issue here is that Landry Shamet is hooping. So like that they are in a similar role, not the same role, but they're in a similar role. And you saw how Mike Brown used Landry Shamet as the ace in the hole against Dallas to close that game, because Landry's been playing really aggressive, really strong defense, forcing turnovers. That was equally as important as the threes that Landry Shamet knocked down to close that game. So there's an interesting conundrum. And Deuce McBride, like everybody, those three players to me at a given time slot into a lot of lineups,
Mm-hmm.
and you choosing the right one is Mike Brown's challenge. So I don't know. I wasn't on board with Josh playing 40 minutes a game and like he was under Tibbs. I don't think that's the way to maximize his impact. But there is this double, like this two-factor thing for him playing, which is he's got the aggression and the versatility, and then also he's like a real respected veteran presence for this team to have on the floor. So if he can tighten the turnovers up, tighten the ball watching up, the more the merrier, I say.
I like Josh Hart. Love him. To be honest, I love the minutes he's playing this season more than any other season. Anything under 30 minutes for Josh Hart where he can give you 16, 10, and 5, I'll take that any day of the week. For me, Josh Hart's minutes should not go up. I love the fact that he's under 30, and hopefully that continues for the rest of the season. I understand why he would want more minutes, but I always thought the minutes should go based off of matchups. And whoever has the hot hand, whoever's doing something right. Like, some nights it could be Clarkson. Some nights it could be Shamet. Some nights it could be Deuce McBride. And I think that's the good thing about the offense, because when it is working the way it's supposed to and the ball is moving and you're finding the open man, it could be a Landry Shamet night again for a McBride or whoever, because that's the way the offense, kind of flows into things. This episode is presented by FanDuel. And shout out to channel sponsor FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, for giving us this updated information and these latest odds on who's going to win the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference this season. We'll start with the East. In the East, the Cavs are on top at plus 250. Then the New York Knicks are at plus 370. Then the Magic at plus 700. And interestingly enough, we caught the odds updating in real time, where the Pistons are now down but still at plus 800. The 76ers are down but at plus 1,000. And the Hawks are down, but they're at plus 1,100. And they round out that list for the Eastern Conference. Taking a look at the Western Conference, OKC is on top at plus 105. Then the Denver Nuggets at plus 410. Then the Rockets at plus 700. Then you have the Lakers at plus 900. The Warriors at plus 1,300. And then rounding out this list is the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they're at plus 1,500. So at least according to FanDuel and the odd makers, if the NBA Finals were to start today, they believe that it would be between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Well, maybe OKC is right, but when it comes to the Cleveland Cavaliers, they can never do it when it matters in the postseason. And honestly, that's why the New York Knicks are far better the choice. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.